100 years from now?
Yeah, all right.
All right, ready?
Yeah, go for it.
1, 2, 3.
I think that'll do it.
That's fun.
That's a good tune, man.
I love that song.
We haven't put together in forever.
It's been too long.
It's been forever. What happened? You know, life
Years.
gets in the way.
I know. Yeah.
You grow up, you get married, you have kids.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
Get a job.
Yeah, get a job, and it's so funny how it seems like it takes too long to reconnect a lot of times with friends that you jam with all the time.
I know.
Next thing you turn around, it's a year later, and you see that person at a jam. You know what I mean?
And for y'all that's maybe not used to seeing me with somebody different or somebody at all, this is Randy Steele, y'all. Randy is he is Chattanooga bluegrass royalty at this point. But Randy's he's a friend of mine and good picker. But the story is with me and Randy, I'm usually his substitute.
Yeah.
So Randy from time to time, he plays with a group here in Chattanooga called Slim Pickens, and from time to time Randy's got other stuff going on. He had a life, job.
Yeah, that's it.
Solo career, and it's like, oh, I can't make this job. So I always kind of filled in for Randy.
It worked out really great. It always worked out good.
And so,
except for the guys in the band were always like, "Hey, we got a new song that Jim can play that you can't play now." And I was like, "Oh, Jim Pankey strikes again."
Yeah, that's how it is, folks. But Randy has a website. It's Tennessee Jams, but Tennessee abbreviated, tnjams.com. And he also has taken on over the past, 6 months or so?
Yeah, we've been going for about six and a half months now.
6.5 months. He has a jam here in downtown Chattanooga at the Barrelhouse Ballroom if you're anywhere nearby, and it's on Tuesday nights, and it's open to bluegrass pickers.
That's right. Every Tuesday here at Barrelhouse Ballroom, we go from 6 to 9 p.m. At 6:30, we have a beginner jam where we do 7 to 8 songs set. It's really very friendly for beginners. That's where it's really aimed at. And we sit here, we call bluegrass hymnals when we have a songbook. So we pass out for everybody, we let everybody get to sing. And then at 7:30, we have an open jam. And that's when we kind of split up in, we typically end up with 3 or 4 different jam circles. Every single Tuesday, we end up with typically between 50 and 60 people here, sometimes up into the 80, 85. Yeah. Some people picking, some people just hanging out.
I've come to the jam not too long ago, and I wound up outside back in the corner, and pretty soon, there's this jam that just kind of shows up around you. And
That's what happens.
And like when it's nice outside, there's a huge patio outside, and then there's plenty of room inside here to pick too. So
yeah,
it's a great venue. They have drinks, they have food, and
fantastic
so come
food.
and
it's
enjoy.
free. free. Doesn't cost
It's free,
anything.
yeah, no cover charge, but yeah, come and enjoy the jam. Bring your guitar, bring your banjo, fiddle, whatever, whatever bluegrass thing that you feel like that you need to bring. Come and be part of it. It's great. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is so many people ask me, and I know they've asked Randy because he teaches here in Chattanooga, and it's like, man, what am I supposed to do? I hear about jams, but I want to go, but then again, I'm kind of not sure how all of that works. And so this is part of the reason you've started this, is to have a stable jam that's kind of somewhat dependable. But really where I learned to play and where Randy learned to play wasn't sitting at home, working through lessons. It was, where you really learn it, where it really all starts to come together, is the immersion of being cast into a jam session with a bunch of, like for me, a bunch of old guys that could pick.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I remember when you were that old guy that could pick for me.
Right. Yeah, thanks a lot. But that's how we learned, is by immersion and being in that jam.
Yep.
And the thing that was important to me when I was going to these jams is finding jams that made me feel welcome and made me, want to go back. And because I had been to some jams that were like, maybe I'm not going back to that. But the reality is that's part of this whole jam culture, and we want to share a handful of tips and things that'll help you be prepared when you show up. And I've got a list here, and you'll be able to find it on TennesseeJams.com, tnjams.com, and you can download this list. And we're not going to go through the whole list because there's just so much, but we picked out a half a dozen.
Yeah, we picked out a couple.
And maybe a bonus, but
and
we'll hit on some of them. But talking about being welcoming in a jam, and I'm going to hand that one off to Randy. That's probably tip number one.
I would say one of the things that I've learned the most from hosting jams over and over and over again is that a little bit of body language. If you see someone milling around outside the jam and you're inside the circle, or if you're in a familiar place, try to be as welcoming as you can. That person's probably more nervous than you can imagine. A little smile, a little head wave, a little, hey, come jam with us, you're gonna make somebody's entire night go 180 degrees, and that's a great feeling for you and for them. It's what the whole thing is about. It's about community and about having a good time. So I would say, like, the kind of golden rule that I try to stick to is try to be as open, as inviting, and try to smile as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's your first time there and you're not sure what's going on and how it works out, for you to smile and look like you're friendly,
exactly,
tells somebody like Randy or me that, hey, this guy might, or gal, might like to be part of this jam.
Absolutely.
And so it makes it easier for us to be more welcoming when you look friendly. So definitely be friendly. Right. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Tell
folks.
Do it, yeah. Say, hi, I'm Sam. I play guitar.
Everybody has a cool instrument that they care about that's in their hand. So you can always open a door by saying, hey, I like your guitar.
Absolutely.
I like your whatever.
So being friendly is a huge tip. One of the things that I did, that was so important to me at a jam, I was a beginner. I went to my first jam, I had been playing 8 months.
Wow.
I didn't know much of anything. And I wound up in a jam with two old guys that knew a lot of music, and I didn't know much at all. At 8 months, I knew a handful of bluegrass tunes. I carried around a little notebook. We call it a butt book. It's just a little flip notebook and a pencil, and I'd write down, I'd say, what was the name of that? And I'd write down that tune. Well, who does that? And I'd write down, and I could go look it up. Now, I couldn't look it up back then on the internet because that didn't exist. Yeah. but I could go to the record store and I could look up albums, and now it's real easy.
It is easy to keep notes.
So take notes, write things down. That's a huge thing that'll help you grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, give us another tip, Randy.
One more. Here's another tip. Once you do, well, let's say once you get inside that circle, so you get the invitation, you're stepping up, or you've been there for a few minutes and everybody's playing, and you decide it's time for you to call a song. Think about it first, okay? If you have to have a songbook for that song, that's going to be a jam killer, and it's going to make it tough on everybody. Don't play a song that's too fast. Play a song that everybody recognizes. 3 chords, something that's not going to be too tough. And that's the best way to introduce yourself, is by showing a cool song and being like, hey, here's something easy that everybody gets along. So stick to the Stanley Brothers, stick to Flat and Scruggs, stick to the classics, stick to the stuff that everybody knows. So that would be one good tip right there. That's a good way to make friends, is by picking easy songs.
Yeah, anything off the Bluegrass Album Band recordings, pretty much all of those are going to work.
100 years from now.
100 years from now. And it'll still work 100 years from now. Another tip, especially if you are a banjo player, is be very conscious of how loud you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how loud your banjo is, turn it over in your lap and play, and you will hear that sound, and it give you a good idea of how loud it is, and that's a big deal. So be conscious of your volume. I know you're already going to be, if you're new to a jam, you're already going to be self-conscious, but be aware that banjos are pretty loud.
They're loud.
Yeah.
They're loud. I'd say one more tip here is give yourself a break, all right? Nobody is going to the Grand Ole Opry. Nobody is getting signed to Arista Records out of the Bluegrass Jam.
Aww.
All right? So don't put that much pressure on yourself. It's supposed to be fun. If you miss a lick and you're really trying to impress somebody and you miss a lick, you know what's better than hitting that lick is missing that lick and laughing at yourself. That's going to be more memorable if you're really trying to get in somebody's frontal brain, right?
Yeah.
So if that's what your goal is, that's how you do it. Don't get frustrated with yourself. Just have a good time. It's supposed to be fun. Cut yourself a break.
And yeah, because everybody here is really focused on what they're doing. Chances are they didn't even hear you miss that lick. They weren't even listening to you. They're worried about, wait, does that go to E minor? Yeah, because, and for even somebody like me and somebody like Randy, a lot of times that's the situation, especially if it's a brand new tune that we haven't done before. A lot of times we get focused on what we're doing, and even I didn't hear you miss the lick. I saw you go for it, and it's like, heck yeah. But yeah, I didn't miss that. I was like, well, maybe I did.
That's the truth. I mean, that's truth from Jim Pankey's mouth out there for sure.
And then one other thing is when you go to a jam, be aware of the culture, be aware of what's going on. Like if you come to Barrelhouse Ballroom, they serve food. If you're here, you're at the jam, respect the venue. If they're serving food, or order something. I'm not saying that you should, but that's a good way to respect the jam, respect that particular jam culture, and the way to do that is just be observant. Watch what other people are doing. If everybody else is ordering a drink from the bar and you don't mind to do that, you get you something from the bar, even if it's a Coca-Cola, whatever it is. Just try to be, when in Rome.
Yeah, for
do
sure.
Those things and be very observant of the culture, and just watch. And pretty soon after you've come a handful of times, you will be a regular. And
it happens very fast.
Yeah. It doesn't take long to be a regular at a bluegrass jam.
Yeah, it happens very fast.
Show up again, now you're a regular.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now, one last thing, and it is, there's really no rules to any of this. Stuff changes. People, jams are different, and depending, from an organized jam like this to a parking lot jam at a bluegrass festival, they all have their own different little things, and just being observant and watching, you'll figure it out. But one of the things is, if whatever you're doing in this jam makes it easy for other people to have a good time, continue to do that. That's the thing. If what you're doing, you know, makes folks struggle or not want to be part of the jam, maybe avoid those things. And I'm not talking about your playing. I'm talking about your attitude, your mannerisms, and that sort of thing, you know. And there's so many other tips, and so we made a list, and we'll put that out there for you to grab. There'll be a link in the description where you can grab that list for absolute free. And I think it's about time for us to get out there and set up and go pick. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Randy Steele, TNJAMS.com, TennesseeJams.com, and go check him out. And I mean, y'all got social media, you got all of that. You got a Discord. I mean,
we're on everything. You can reach all of it from that tnjams.com website. You can sign up for the Discord. We've got our songbook that's on there for free. So we've got 50 songs that we play here every Tuesday. We play out of that book. You're more than welcome to just, you know, that's free. We just download it.
Yeah. So I know it seems a little late now, but we're going to go tune up. So we'll be ready for the jam. We'll see y'all.
Man, I was like, are they cutting up a body in there, dude? What are y'all doing?